What's going on, Thinking Game Podcast? Thanks everybody who joined. Thank everybody who's been supporting. Like, share, and subscribe on YouTube, CTM TV LR, Instagram, CTM TV LR, TikTok, CTM TV LR, and Twitter or X, CTM TV LR. Thanks for tuning in to the Thinking Game Podcast, where we make a platform to try to encourage thinking about things. How do you go about thinking about the said thing or the circumstance? How do you process information? Are you willing to update how you process information? So today's episode, does experience have an effect on thinking and our decisions based on experience? We're going to talk about that today. Let me know in the comments what you think. Does a person's experience factor into their decision making and into their thinking? Does that happen? Does that make the difference? Because when you think about when you meet people in life, you don't know what all they know. You just see them do certain things and you say, I wonder why that person did A, B, C, or D, right?
Oh,
What's going on?
yo, yo,
Got it.
yo.
Just sitting there talking about the episode. The topic is, does experience have an effect on thinking and our decisions based on experience? We're gonna conversate about that today. I got a couple slides I'm gonna pull up here in a second. Before we get into it though, what you think about that? Do you think experience have an effect on a person's thinking?
Yeah, once they didn't went through it, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Sometimes you can have secondhand experience that you didn't go through. You just saw somebody go through it and be like, you know what? I'm good.
yeah,
Just
yeah,
depends on the person.
yeah. I think most older people do it, but
I think you could do it when you're younger if you have the discipline or maybe or the structure. It is very difficult though. Like we was talking about last time, trying to have discipline, but you don't even understand what the concept of discipline is. You just hear people say it to you all the time,
yeah,
but they're not showing it. Like they can't articulate, like break it down. Like what is discipline? You know what I'm saying? Like what is that? You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, yeah. I look at it like we was told back then. We was told not to do something. We still did certain stuff.
mhm, mhm.
So it's kind of like same thing now. They rather just experience certain things.
Do you think you did it because of the lack of experience? I know for me, my parents like don't do this to some family, and I still did anyway. It's the that thing that you tempted, the temptation. You don't have enough experience to know that temptation leads to nowhere. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we know now in our 40s, but when you're 19, 20 years old, you don't really have the experience to know that this temptation it's going to cause me a lot of headache. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm sure some dudes know if you lay down with this woman, she gonna give you hell for the rest of your life. You know what I'm saying? You don't have no experience, enough experience to know that. You know what I'm saying? When you're 19, 20, some dudes go on a run where they have 5 or 6 kids by 4 women, or and you just didn't have enough experience to realize you really got to stop what you're doing, or it's gonna hurt. For a long time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, some get high for doing it.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. You know what I'm saying? I totally agree. I think some people get high for doing it. Some people are kind of like sociopaths, probably like I was, and some people just the discipline, man. Like some people really don't understand. Like There are some guys who are really not trying to go down that road, but
Mm,
they run into the wrong people along the way. You know what I'm saying? You really not even thinking about like sex and stuff like that, but you go to college, but you running into these girls you never seen before. Like if you go to Bethune Cookman, who knows how they look, but it may be different. Like this ain't like going to McClellan. It's a little different. You know what I'm saying? But if
mm,
you don't got the experience to say, nah, I'm here to get my education. That's what I'm really focusing on. You can get tricked. And that's a whole nother decision tree kind of stuff. I mean, but they don't get talked about. Sometimes people think it's just all the dudes all the time. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Some of these women are really crafty too, both sides. But
yeah. I'm on the fence with it because that's why I think you should get it out early before you know.
that's the thing. When it sound good to a person that don't have no experience, but if you look, it's on social media now. If you just see it, you see a lot of dudes, man, they hurt by some of those decisions they made by trying to get it all out because it don't go good for everybody. It sound good what you're saying to people. It's gonna sound good until the problems come,
Yeah, that's
and
why I
then
say,
they'll say, "Why did you tell me that?" You know what I'm saying?
that's why I'm on the fence with it because
So yeah,
got some that don't experience nothing, and then once they do get to college or out in the real world, that life gonna happen. You're gonna
I
get
think
tricked.
I think the people who think they get away with it, I think if you go deep in the game and you don't have any kids, you don't get no STDs, the mindset that you develop because of the skill that you got to develop to do it. How do you unlearn that now? You go from going 100 miles per hour to you just gonna stop on a dime. It don't work that way. Like trying to be married or trying to settle down. That's a hard transition to do. You know what I'm saying? To be with multiple women and then just stop and be with one woman is really hard. It's not easy to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm just speaking from my experience anyway, but it's not easy to do. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just certain things when you was dealing with multiple women. You like certain stuff. You can be like, you know what? I can just go over here and forget it. I just go over here. You know what I'm saying? Um, put you on the bench for a little while. Let you think about it. But when you start settling down, trying to invest time into like family and stuff, it's a little different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but statistics say you're gonna get tricked, player.
But see, when you got experience though,
Yeah, about the
you
one.
like past that. 'Cause I just seen it with my own two eyes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
it's for the ones with no experience, and then they get
yeah,
out there and see how easy it is to get tricked. You know,
yeah.
you have all your plans, everything ready.
Mhm. Mhm.
Get one that's gonna
I
play.
think it's hard for people to think of the worst things that could happen. They always think about the good things, but they never like we talking about the in between. They never think about the in between of stuff happening. They always think about it's gonna happen like this. In the in between, it's like the multiverse. There's so many things that can happen. You can't even compute a lot of stuff that can happen. You know what I'm saying? Just look on social media. Some of these scenarios are crazy, man. You know what I'm saying? People go through. You know what I'm saying?
Uh,
Uh, it's crazy out here, man. Some of this stuff. I'll go to this. Pull up this slideshow real quick. John will be in here too, man. I think he said he's gonna come in too, but yeah, we got Pill in the house. We got Mike in the house for talk about. First of all, before we get into the slide, man, how's it been summertime? I know me with summer school, but how's it been with the yards and stuff?
it's been straight.
Been
Nothing,
straight?
yeah,
I
nothing
know
too.
that heat on monster, bro. Whew.
Yeah, oh, yeah,
You just stand outside and start sweating. I mean, you ain't even doing nothing yet, and you sweat.
yeah.
Yeah.
July. July. You don't work as much, but
Oh, for sure. August too. Yeah, for
yeah.
sure.
hmm
And people acting up. I don't know what is it about the heat, man.
It's
Man, I
it's
don't know what it is, man, about the heat, man.
it, every time. Yeah, it's crazy. You know what I be thinking, man? I think every time they have a special on food, that's when people start going crazy.
But like the dudes that what was it in North Little Rock? Out of all the places, like man, they're gonna come after you if you do anything in Marmel, North Little Rock. They're gonna come after you. You know what I'm saying? There's not going to be like, you know how some places you do something and you might not even get caught up in nothing. You probably get away. Nah, they ain't going. They had cameras and everything. You know what I'm saying? Boy,
It's that who cloned Tyrone food, man. I'm trying to tell you, man.
what's that?
Every time they have a special on food, they get their food, and then they go crazy. You gotta see that movie too, man. Who cloned?
Uh,
Man.
but man, people ain't really buying. I took the kids to go get their school supplies. People ain't really buying like certain foods. Like with ever since that parasite and stuff, man, they can't get fruit and lettuce off the shelf.
Mm-mm.
They got so many yellow tags and manager special. And like, man, you can just have it, man. I don't want that. I don't want that.
Vegetables.
Now you know what? The lettuce, like baby spinach and stuff. Any like the green stuff, they were saying that you could get it. You could possibly get that little parasite, like they was talking about with Taco Bell allegedly and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The explosive diarrhea and all that stuff. But yeah, man, it's crazy out there, man. I don't know what it is about the summer. It seems like the summer though, man. It's like a period of time. It's just a lot of crazy stuff be happening. It's a lot of young cats too, man.
Mm-hmm. It's that who cloned Tyrone. I'm trying to tell you. The $5 pieces, man.
But what about man us? Like you grew up in the '80s, man. You eating commodity food, man, and we still, what I'm saying, we weren't thinking about murdering nobody, man. You know what I'm saying?
Uh, no, definitely, it was a different time too. So,
Jay, what's going on, bro?
What's
yo,
up, fellas?
yo,
But yeah, we should be talking about like today's topic, man. Like I asked you before we get into the slides. Does experience have an effect on thinking? And are decisions based on experience?
They do. No matter
Mhm.
how much you want, let me adjust something real quick.
Go ahead.
They do. No matter how much you want to say they don't,
Mm-hmm.
we try not to, but your experiences shape how you react to stuff, especially
Oh,
unexpected. You
100%.
know,
Yeah,
no matter how much you try to auto train yourself, but those reactions come out. You know,
yeah.
some people reaction to disrespect.
Mm. Yeah,
They can't
yeah.
play it off and keep it business. You know,
Do you
they got to
do you
check it
think that's
right
a
then and there because that's
do you
their
think that's
reaction
a
and their
I ask both of
neighborhood and
y'all.
their lifestyle. What?
No, I'm gonna ask both of y'all this. Do you think their word has caused a lot of dudes to go to jail? A lot of dudes in jail because of their word respect? When they could have walked away, but it's like because you disrespected me, I had to make you respect me, and then it ended up causing a regret. 30 seconds of laying the smack down. Now 30 years to life.
it's
Most
respect.
definitely. Some people will think it's worth living or dying on. You know, you
Yeah,
can't sit
yeah,
with yourself. If you somebody
right.
disrespect me, I'm thinking about that all night. I can't even enjoy a meal with my kids
Yeah,
because I'm thinking about that disrespect.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but you gotta know when to turn it off and on.
that's
But
true.
some people
Yeah,
think that's weak. You know,
that's true.
you let
Yeah,
that slide because that was your boss. You know,
yep.
I wouldn't have took that, man.
That's why you gotta have the experience to understand. Like you might not have the experience, but you see it secondhand. When somebody's in the courtroom fighting for their life, the people that's saying it ain't nowhere to be found.
Exactly.
Nowhere to be found. Looking at 25 to life. All because, man, I wouldn't let them do me like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. But someday, then that's the price of it too. Also, that's why, like I said, a lot of times I'm gonna be on the fence about it. Everybody ain't gonna play with you like
That's true.
Exactly.
That's,
so. You
that's
and
true.
so as a person, you should have respect anyway. You should have been taught that.
But I think if you got experience like us at 40, you know that everybody, even though people say that, but everybody don't act respectful though.
And who fault is that?
No, but I'm saying like, but you at that point now, you know everybody act respectful. Is it worth me going to jail 25 to life over? You know what I'm saying? Because there's
You
some
gotta
dudes
be
that
willing.
demand respect, but they disrespect everybody.
So to me, it's like degrees.
Yeah,
I
for
don't
sure.
get to smack you in the face. I don't have to touch you. I can just say my piece. But some people don't know how to talk. They
Hmm.
action. They're about that action.
Hmm.
And I think other people letting disrespect slide allows that other person to be more comfortable
Mm,
disrespecting people.
Mm.
that's true. Yep,
And they
that's true.
got him in the situation that he didn't expect to be in because a
Yeah,
parking space, it wasn't worth it. A parking space wasn't worth it.
yeah,
And 9 times out of 10, the person would have just back down saying a parking space wasn't worth it. But
yeah.
that one time you had that one
Because I
that's
think
gonna
the
take you to
best,
that degree.
I think the best thing, like if any kids are watching it now, go watch those documentaries or people interviewing people in jail. They tell you I should have. I know it's hard in that moment in time, but they say when I look back on it, I should have just walked away. It wasn't worth it. You know what I'm saying? Shooting dude in the head. You know what I'm saying? Because I think a lot of things people don't talk about. I didn't experience it, but you see people that experience it. Some people that it's people. It's we gonna talk about that later too. But it's some people that can kill people and it won't affect them at all. And there's some people that kill them and it has an effect. Like they can't get over that. Wake up in cold sweats, you know what I'm saying, thinking about, they took that person's life, you know what I'm saying, or hunt them or something like that.
And you can
But,
tell people like that a little bit. Like some people don't realize other people, everybody, each individual person is the main character in their life.
yeah, for
Some
sure.
people see my life the only life that matters because I'm the only main character.
Yeah,
Everybody got a mama.
boy.
Everybody had a daddy. Everybody was raised in unique situations. Everybody had that one teacher that cared for them, not just you. And some
So,
people,
go
go
ahead.
ahead. No,
No, go
it's
ahead.
all
Go ahead and
good.
finish. So, we finna get into it, building a platform that encourages just to think, man. Just think. So, let's get into it. We're gonna talk about experience, right? The definition. Experience means practical knowledge gained from doing something, an event you live through, or the conscious events of life. That's the definition. But what does it mean to people like us that grew up in the city? What does experience mean outside the definition of it? Like to you, what does experience mean to you? Both of y'all, like what?
What you say? What does the experience mean to me?
Yeah, outside the definition. I know, but it's the definition book
Mm.
terms, but most people ain't gonna like read the Webster dictionary. Like, what if you was explaining to somebody? What does it mean to
Yeah,
you?
it depends on the context you're using it, right? So
Sure.
when you say experience on job application, it's about your skills. What
Hmm.
useful experience, what constructive experience do you have?
Right.
Do you know right your way around the computer? You just it's not just knowing the knowledge, it's living and applying that knowledge you have. That's
Yeah.
experience on the job.
For sure. For sure.
Most of the time in your personal life, when I think about experience, I think about trauma. The bad things that have happened to you in life that make you the way you are.
Mm,
Of course, there's good experiences, but people don't notice a well-rounded, mild-mannered person when
yeah.
they think about the experience and what all you've been through. Some people look like what they've been through, and they act like what they've been through,
Mm.
Boy, what you
and the
think, Chris?
consequences of those actions or
Yeah,
Yeah.
choices.
yeah, mine would be the definition. Like
What's
simple.
that?
Mine would be the definition of experience. Like it's tough to talk about something you don't know nothing about or been
That's
Amen.
true. Yeah.
or been through, you know. And even if I don't have the experience, I've been around enough people to know Even though I didn't do it, I've been around. I experienced a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think too. You may not know about it, but when you think of the other side of the coin too, sometimes people don't know what all you know at the same time too. You know what I'm saying? Like we're gonna talk about that too. Like sometimes people it's a misunderstanding because another y'all may not have the same level of experience, and then this causes a lack of miscommunication. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes too. Like I said, if you never like I don't know about boosting like that, going to the mall, going to dealers and taking clothes and all this. So if I argue with a person that boosts, they gonna be like, "Why are you arguing with me? You don't even boost. What are you talking about?" You know what I'm saying? It'd be like a pointless argument. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't never did that before, you know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to give you an example, but sometimes like people do, you know, I've seen that happen too. People try to argue with people that have the experience and they never really went down that path like that to have that not the same, but just to under like me and Jake can talk about the stuff like we talk about with dating stuff goes similar, you know, experiences. Then somebody be like, well, if you only dated one girl, like your high school sweetheart, you're not gonna have the same experience. You know what I'm saying? Playing around in the game like that. So, but yeah, I get what you're
But
saying up here. You can talk about what you know.
it seemed like
Hmm?
the people with the least experience have the most to say, especially in this internet culture.
Yeah, it's real
You
too.
know,
Yeah,
you telling me about women dating, but you only
yeah,
dated two girls. You know, the girl you dated in junior high and your high school sweetheart.
yeah. That's true
You
too.
won't
Yeah,
tell me about body count.
yeah,
You know, you
yeah,
get two bodies, your wife get three, and you want
yeah,
to tell me about a woman's worth.
yeah. That's true. So, let's get into some of it. Different ways a person can gain experience, life experience. Y'all think about that before we move to the other ones. What's some of the ways persons gain experience through life, just through life?
Shoot, keep living. Shoot, keep
Yeah,
living. You go experience some stuff.
yeah, that's true.
Even if you don't want to, just life experience. Your first day of kindergarten is gonna give you some experiences.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
true. Yeah,
and sometimes you're forced into situations you shouldn't be,
yeah,
but you live through it. Now you got another experience.
yeah,
Every and The stakes seem high. Whatever level you on. When I was in kindergarten, you know, talking to the girl I like, or getting using my lunch card for the first time, that was an experience. And the
yeah,
stakes were high at that point. I thought, I ain't gonna get my lunch. I ain't gonna do this right. Is this lunch card gonna work? You know,
yeah.
uh, what is she gonna say? That mattered to me. But
Yep.
now looking back, that wasn't done.
Boy, he said it
He
was.
had something for me.
What you think, Phil?
I just said
You
it.
know,
Keep on living.
but
Shit.
I mean, I bet I give you some
I tell
stuff
you,
like life, like generations, right? Like what like if you grew up in the '80s or the '90s or the 2000s or the '70s, your life experience is probably a little different, right? Um, in the '80s, we probably on the tail end of it, like Big Mama, like that's a real thing. Like most young kids don't even know what that is now. You know what I'm saying? Being able to see a Cadillac with curb indicators on it. You know what I'm saying? You can't even. I don't even know. Can you still buy those, man, and put on the old school curb indicators
Yep.
on the Cadillacs, on the big old Cadillacs? You gotta have them little things. The kids don't even know what that is to stick out the curb indicators. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Um, having when the CD player first came out, you know what I'm saying, for a car. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty funny. We get that old, but that's pretty funny. Like
how
living in the
about old
projects.
school on radio?
Yeah, living in the projects. That's a life experience. Like most of them about tore down now. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But I can't believe I just thought about that, man. When I was going through the airport the back way, how close the jungle was to the river. Like it's right there by the river. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, man. Oh man, that's crazy, man. You think about what is in that river that don't nobody know about. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so much life stuff you learn from life experiences. Though you just learn, it's kind of blended with spiritual too. But like I say, learning how to live. If you lived in that, live with less. You learn how to live with less. You learn how to survive and how to make commodity food seem like you went grocery shopping. I've had that experience. You know what I'm saying? You make
But
one
I think
gallon of milk into 4 gallons of milk. You know what I'm saying?
what
With powder milk. You know what
cow milk. But
I'm saying?
that's the thing. I think a lot of these bad spending habits and living above your means come from those life experiences. You had to live with so little.
Mm.
I lived in a house with then 9, 10 people.
Hmm.
Now I have my house. Now I need my own space.
Yeah.
The whole house used to use one washer and one dryer.
And see,
Mm.
that's the thing about life experience too. Why do people live by themselves now? Because 9 to 10 people. How many out of that 9 or 10 can you know, what I'm saying that's solid? You can leave your kids around and stuff. You know what I'm saying? A lot of that changed over.
Out
I'm
of
not
that
talking about
nine
your
to
family
ten,
situation.
everybody, every single person got their own house. You know,
Yeah, yeah,
but
that's
I got
true.
people I can trust with me. You know, so
Right,
I can
for sure.
definitely leave my kids with them. But that it's a trauma response. I had to get my own. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, that happens a lot. I mean, even having to ride the city bus, that was an experience, you know. Having to ride the city bus. Like my mom having to ride the bus with 2 kids, man, that's experience, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of life experience. You get it in life. A lot of them growing up, man. If you really got the awareness to realize like you're going through an experience so you learn about it later, you know what I'm saying? But you should always let it build towards something if you got the awareness. Like spiritual. What y'all think spiritual experience?
As far
uh,
I, what you think, Jay? What you
I
want to
think
go with?
life and spiritual go hand in hand. Cause go hand in hand. Because those life experiences kind of lead you or forces you to have a spiritual relationship. Uh,
You sure? You sure about
I
that? I don't
I
know.
think people who had an easy life are usually less spiritual. You know, sometimes the people with easier life, I'm an atheist. You know, I get everything on my own. It was all me. You know,
mm,
but when you deal with them life experiences that are hard, you know somebody was with you. You know,
I
and
don't
you
know, man.
call
I
on
know
God.
it's some people though. It's some people who have life experience, but they parents didn't take them to church. If both of your parents was from the streets and you didn't have Big Mama, y'all was out of proximity. Like they moved from Big Mama house, they live all the way on the other side of town. You stand on Pike, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Pike though, they had Pike Day, but
Amen.
if you stand all the way on Pike, your parents don't take you to church, and Big Mama all the way across town. You know what I'm saying? In College Station somewhere. You know what I'm saying? You might have limited spiritual experience. You know what I'm
You might have, I think you might have limited religious experiences, but
mm.
I think growing up in the black community, you have that spirituality even without religion. I mean, per
So
se.
how can you sell dope and have spirituality?
That's the life experience. Like I can do good and be hungry, or I can do bad and eat. It's just the
Okay,
mechanics of it. You know, like going.
hold on. We're gonna
I'm
talk
a
about that
doctor.
later. We got a verse to talk to handle that. Like we got a verse there, the verse of the day that's gonna handle
Hey,
that
guess
later.
what?
I'm
It's
not gonna
just
go.
business. It's not
Yeah,
personal. You know,
I think like
God
that.
do
If you
what
don't
I
have,
believe.
when I think about like when I was younger, like if you really have both of your parents instill the foundation, the spiritual foundation, think that could make that would make a difference. I just Number one, I just see it in my kids. I'm just using myself. I see it in my kids because I didn't have that. My dad didn't even go to church at all. But I think if you get that foundation, it helps. But I think if you don't have that foundation, it's easy the temptation it can feel greater, you know what I'm saying? And then that's all you know. Like some kids, that's all they know is chaos, man. It's crazy, but it's for real though. It's all these kids know is chaos, you know what I'm saying? And, if
But
they don't have that spiritual foundation, man, they will get not all of them, but a high percentage of them will get sucked in, you know what I'm saying?
and you're correct, but I think spirituality is a very personal thing, you know. Unless God personally touch your life, your parents can teach you spirituality, but you really won't feel it. Like if your parents are buffing you from everything, my parents protect me and they provide for me. We have enough to eat. We have clothes on our back. We have a roof over our head. My parents shelter me from that. You don't really feel the Lord because you ain't got to rely on them because you get your mom and daddy and they buffering you. But sometimes when you ain't got mama and daddy like that, mama at work, daddy, God knows where, you have to rely on God, not just for spiritual, moral stuff. You gotta rely on Him. God, please make this peanut butter and jelly strips. Please let it be some rice in the cupboard.
Yeah.
You know, when you providing for your kids and you can give them everything they need, they don't develop that late night. It's just me. And mama gone.
Yeah, I think. Do you think that we should change that as a community to where? Do you think parents should buffer their kids? That the kids shouldn't have to feel that until they get to a certain age.
Almost definitely. I think kids should.
Just the concept. I'm just throwing the concept out there.
No, I think kids should not feel that. They should not have to have a trial by fire. They should not have to find the Lord out of necessity. You know, they should not have to do that. But most of the times that's not the case. And we find and we draw close to the Lord through the trauma and turmoil.
That's real.
Some of us.
So we think about social experience, right? Like different social things, like being able to make friends, dating, things like that. Being able to, talk to people that you don't know. Their social experience.
To get in the really financial hierarchy of things, like you can't hang with them because you don't have the right shoes, clothes. You don't make enough money that run in them circles. Even in church, you can't hang with the PKs because your dad ain't even in church. He ain't nothing. So you ain't nothing in church because you don't fit in a social hierarchy of things. So you got to learn how to maneuver that and popularity.
For sure. What you think, Bill?
Yeah, but I was gonna speak on something else different though. But
go ahead.
Like now that there are some kids that go to church and there's a lot that don't, and it makes me wonder like what happened with the parents that make them turn away from a church like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Church hurt is a real thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I don't like sometimes the people in the church, you did one or two little things. You spread a rumor or you said this and that. Mm-hmm. You made that person stop coming or didn't want to come to church Sunday. Mm-hmm. That's his whole family, his whole bloodline. You severed the tie or you played a part in severing the tie. You made it that much harder for him or them to go worship the Lord. I know it's.
So how does the person? Let me ask you. Let me play devil's advocate. How does people say church hurt and stop going to church, but they get hurt at the job but keep going to work?
You're like definitely right. You're definitely right. So people see some spirituality or religion, not spirituality. Religion is something I can do without. God is with me. I got my own Bible. Yeah. I got a Bible. I can't go without work. I can go without church because I got my Bible. I always got the Lord with me. But my job, I need a check, and there's something I got to
Because
do.
I can make the same case. Like I need a check. I need Jesus. That's why I go to church to get more of Jesus.
More Jesus, but like I said,
'Cause
I got a Bible.
But his
And Jesus-
presence is stronger when the saints assemble. When 2 or 3 gather together. that
Yeah,
the
it's
Lord is.
stronger, but I notice it's bad for me dealing with the people I'm supposed to be gathered with. They are more harmful for my spiritual and mental well-being, so I can take God and my Bible at home. Because
Yeah.
I run into more chaos and turmoil and rumors and church hurt and somebody gay, somebody pregnant. I don't have to deal with that at home because I got God and I got the word at home. I just don't have the fellowship.
Yeah.
But
Last thing before we
is it
get off
right?
there.
No.
Let me ask you this: the thing is, a person responsible for finding a church that mimics the Bible?
Yeah, it's your responsibility to find a job, to find
Yeah.
a church, to find a wife, to find a
I get it.
school with like-minded people like you. All
Yeah.
that's your responsibility. It's like dating. You don't marry the first girl you meet. You probably don't not want to be a member of the church you
Do you
meet.
think every girl a dude talk to, he think he gonna marry? When you say that, you're not gonna marry the first girl you meet.
Some of them do. You know, some of them like I got age. Let's say I had 25 before I even start thinking about taking the girl serious. You know, if somebody say, "Hey, if it's the right one, whether I be 18 or 35, I'm gonna go for it." So it depends on what you're looking for, what's your motivation for dating. You know,
Yeah. All right. Corporate experience. What does that mean to y'all?
Rob, cheat, and steal.
Ah, yeah. Rob cheated still.
everything's got a price.
Everything, boy.
Everybody's gonna pay.
Everybody's gonna pay. That's the only experience you need. If you can rob Peter and don't worry about getting caught. Yeah, all right.
Until you get caught. Until you get caught.
Hey, everybody ain't caught, but you know,
Yeah.
everybody thinking about corporate, they think about the boardroom, but it's just business. It's anything professional. It's anything.
Yeah.
You can be gardening, you can be welding. That's your business. That's your corporate.
Right.
That's your
Yeah,
corporation.
for sure.
Anything your professional integrity. You know.
Yeah, pretty
That's
much
all
like
they
say,
mean.
you want to find something in the corporate world, a field. That's the best thing I would say. Just learning from hindsight. Find that field, especially if you can find it in high school to go into that has value wherever you live. Some places you live, tech probably ain't gonna be the thing in Montana, and you live on a farm or something. You know what I'm saying? You gonna have to figure it out. You might have to move somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? You live somewhere else, agriculture might not be the thing in the city in LA. You know what I'm saying? You might have to move somewhere else, Idaho or something, you know what I'm saying? So, and then the longer you're in that field, theoretically anyway, the experience you have in that field, the more valuable or more value that you bring in is a lot, especially if you got education to back it up too. So, it's a lot of little things with that corporate experience. So, I
And I
know for
think
me, go ahead.
And I think if you bring the blueprint and apply it to all these areas, if you apply the corporate strategy to your spiritual and social life,
Yeah.
and your actual life, it'll be more structured. You know, people, spirituality ain't that structured. You gotta make it that way. My personal life ain't that structured. Make it that way. My social life ain't that structured. Who you hang around with matters.
Yeah.
You think it matters in the corporate world, but it don't matter in your social circles.
Let me
That's
ask
not
y'all
true.
this. Do you think working multiple jobs is a bad thing or working minimal jobs is a good thing? Which one of y'all think? Or is it's just subjective? It's kind of It's no one size fits all kind of deal.
Man, get in where you fit in. If you got to work multiple jobs, just do what
No, I'm
you got
talking about
to
like
do.
over time. Like if a person work like every 5 years, they get another job every 5 years instead of being in one place for like 30 years or something.
I mean, either
Like,
or.
do,
Like,
do you think the experience level is different for each one? Like if a person work different job versus a person work one job for 30 years, do you think the experience level is different, or do you think it's about the same?
um, I, I would say the same,
Yeah.
but in actuality, like if I'm gonna be perfectly honest, like they're staying at a job for 20 years, 20, 25 years, they'll mess around and downsize, and you're gonna be the first one gone.
I
So
mean, I get that. I'm trying to get people to understand. Like some people will say, like if you work multiple jobs, because I work multiple jobs, so I, you know, so I can't say that about somebody who work one job for 30 years. But I think for me, I'll just say for me, I've worked when before got into the technology field, like working like IT or whatever. When I was younger, I probably would do that like every 4 or 5 years. Instead of going to school every 4 or 5 years, I would just get a job to make more money. You know what I'm saying? And the thing that I thought it was a waste of time, but when I thought about it, the experience that you learn of dealing with the different people in the different fields, like when you learn about race, right? You learn about politics. You learn about how these things work versus small company versus big company. Pay scale. Why this place pay more than this place? You just learn those kind of things. You know what I'm saying? You kind of got a diverse thought of how different things work because you've seen different places to make that general, that general consensus. You know what I'm saying? Versus somebody who work one job and they'll just say everything about their one job, but it's like it's other things out here. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
it's still the
All you know
same.
is apples, but it's oranges, pineapples, and everything. But all you know is apples. You just trying to argue about apples. You know what I'm saying?
It's still the same game. It's just different players. That's all.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
For sure. And that don't pay off anymore. Staying with a
No,
company and being loyal, and putting all your eggs, even experience wise, you only
yeah,
experience in one thing. That just don't pay off. You use and depends on the job.
right.
'Cause some job you had a 20-year limit. No matter what you do, 20 years you retire. It may not be enough to retire on, but at least you
Yeah,
can get a whole nother job. And being that kind of person is frowned upon, moving job to job, but you getting to know yourself. You
right,
getting to
for sure.
know
That's exactly that's the biggest thing for
what you
sure.
like, what fits you. Sometimes you work a job and you get, man, this all I know. All I know is forklifts. All I know is trains. And you're scared to go out. Man, I'm worked trains for 20 years. That's all I know. And you ain't
Yeah,
trying to know nothing else. And working multiple jobs at the same time, a lot of people. I worked in healthcare, but I know a lot of people get multiple jobs and working overtime, working 12s,
hmm,
7, 14 days in a row.
yeah,
Mhm.
That's good short term, but I know people been CNAs for 40 years because
yeah,
they can work uh, uh, 14 shifts in a row and make a big bag. But instead of working another 12, working another 7 12s, you can invest that same time in school and raise your income. So
yeah.
hustling, you're gonna work anyway.
Hmm.
How about work on your mind instead of your bank account or your body and raise your earning potential?
And that goes right into the thing where we're looking right now. Does experience level have an effect on decision making? Right, like what you just said with the CNA. If you don't have the experience level, you like a young CNA. You like I'm for the hustle and get the bag. If you worked a while, you have the experience. You're gonna say I could work 7 12, but what's the cost? What is it gonna cost me, health wise, mental wise, or physically wise, to work 7 12s? You know what I'm saying? What am I gonna miss out on? I may not be able to eat healthy like I want to because I got to eat Hot Pockets because I ain't gonna have time because I'm working 7/12s. You know what I'm saying?
And how
What am
long?
I gonna miss out on? Family events, stuff like that because I got to work 7/12s. You know what I'm saying?
And you can do that indefinitely. That's
Yeah.
your future.
Yeah.
Working those
For real.
7/12s,
Yeah. For sure.
and you could have went to school a couple of years, and now you don't want to have to work 7/12s. Now you're a nurse. You're making just as much money, but you working 3 shifts. It used to
Yeah.
took you 7 shifts to work that, but the same time you've been working those doubles. At the same time invested somewhere different can net or different outcome.
Yeah.
Mm.
What you want to say, Pill?
Oh no, just agreeing with him.
Because I would say this. I say when I was working the regular jobs and you don't get to see when you young and you live in the inner city, you don't really know what all jobs are available to you. You really don't. Like how many kids do we know that looked at LinkedIn on their phone? You know what I'm saying? They probably looking at social media, but they ain't looking at LinkedIn, like comparing like what's available to them, you know what I'm saying? And then you look at what they want you to do. Like I worked at Walmart before and I was like, nah, it gotta be a better way. Like they pay you 30 some thousand maybe, and you up on your feet all day. It you think because you working 4 hours, that's not gonna be that long until you do it for 4 hours, minute for minute. You know what I'm saying? Standing up on your feet for 4 hours. It sounds good till you do it, and then you work in you start working in the technology field, and you find out I get paid more for sitting down doing like just thinking less work. If I know how to do this problem, it's gonna be less work. If I know how to solve this in a matter of time, it's gonna be less work. You know what I'm saying?
And I think that's the perfect point. We get conditioned that big money or my destination is hard work.
Yeah,
If I'm gonna make more money than $100,000, I'm gonna have to work really hard. If I'm working this hard for 30, 100,
boy.
it must gonna be tiring work. No, being a Walmart stocker is harder than being a tech guy. It's
Yeah,
different kind of hard mental stress versus actually physical stress.
yeah.
But working outside fixing roads is definitely harder than day trading or whatever.
It's like I was watching the video with the repo man. All right, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Dude doing the repo man. It sound good being a repo man till you trying to repo somebody's car and he come outside with that SK. You know what I'm saying?
And none of it's worth it. Well, I get $1,000 per repo, but one repo
Man.
can end your life.
Yeah, it was a
It's like
video out there. Was that in Memphis? Well, he did, and dude ran up on. He tried to get his car down, then he ran up on the dude, the driver, like, "Put my car down, man. Put my car down, man. I got the up on you." He shot dude in the leg or something like that on camera. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
it's like being a police officer too.
Oh yes,
You
that's
see
boy.
you see all these benefits and this and that, and I'll just pull people over. It's just take one stop.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
then experience your decision making. You don't have enough experience as a police officer to make sound decisions. Like, I don't think people realize how hard it is, like gunfights and stuff. How hard it is to make sound decisions in a gunfight. You know what I'm saying? It's hard, man. When somebody's shooting at you and you shooting at the man, that stuff ain't easy to do. You know
They
what I'm
say
saying?
everything changed when you hit, and that's fighting
Boy,
fist to fist. But you shooting now,
yeah.
and
Mhm.
they don't
Or
train you to get
pulling
shot at.
somebody over, and you don't know what this dude's intention is. Is he gonna take
Yep.
this ticket and go home, or is he gonna shoot you through the window? You know what I'm saying? That happens too. There's a lot of state troopers. They don't
This
talk
is
about it all the time, but yeah, they get shot through the window before they even get up
you.
to the car.
You is basically the straw that broke the camel's back. He waiting.
Yeah, yeah,
He, I can't wait. The next
yeah.
month, try me, and guess what? You're next.
And then the second one is, can a person disagree with you due to lack of experience?
Oh yeah, most definitely can argue with you. People that's not married can tell you everything about a marriage.
Boy, for real.
They be on podcasts telling you your wife's value, all the counts. I bet she'll cook for me, and they had all this stuff to say, or they
Yeah.
had all the stuff to say about Bob. I ain't been to church since I was 10, you know,
Boy,
and they argue down.
argue you down. What you think, Bill?
Oh man, I don't know what to think about that. But like say, what can I say? Because just because you don't have the experience, like we know what it was like. I'm pretty sure before y'all had settled down and got married, y'all was knocking out married women. Uh,
Nah, I
allegedly,
want no
alleged,
man. At least they
allegedly.
didn't
Not
tell me. At
not
least they didn't
not
tell
to
me.
my knowledge. Not
Not,
not to my knowledge. I
Yeah,
don't.
not to my knowledge. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Ignorance can kill, but I
Boy,
don't.
yeah, for sure.
so they pretty much could tell you, like, hey man, um, I don't know what I'm saying.
I
Um,
think this
You ain't gotta
scenario
live. You
applies.
ain't gotta live through everything
yeah,
to speak on it. You
yeah,
know,
Right.
some stuff comes sense,
But that's what,
but
but see, you got people to say don't judge me though, but they don't know your experience though. You know what I'm saying? You might be telling them from your experience that this ain't a good idea. You know what I'm saying? And
I
they're
ain't
like, you
telling you
judge me.
something I heard. I'm telling you what I know.
Yeah, I'm telling you what I know. You know what I'm saying? And they say don't judge me. All right, cool,
Don't
okay,
go in Walmart.
yeah, for real. But I've seen it though. People do like they argue over lack of experience. 'Cause I've seen people do it, and then when they find out that you actually knew what you was talking about, they won't even say, you know what, man, you was telling me what was for real, man. You know what I'm saying? Because it's
And I
you. I
think
guess it's because it's you.
that hold too much weight. Uh, you didn't even come back to tell me I was right. Nah, man, I don't need the credit. I know I know what's right.
Right. I think it's for the other person though. Sometimes the ego won't allow you to accept something from somebody. Like if you
Oh,
telling me
for
something, but
sure.
my ego, I'm talking about this side. Yeah. Yeah. You
Yeah,
don't have to tell me, but yeah.
especially
I just don't want.
men. You can't
Yeah.
take it advice for because she's a woman.
Yeah.
You can't accept a woman preaching because she's a woman.
Hmm.
I know God didn't speak to you. You a woman.
Yeah. Am I right? I say no. All right, man. Oh man. Is it more important to learn about you or other people?
Starts with you. And
Yes.
first, know yourself. You know,
What you think, Bill?
definitely learn about other people because you already know you.
I don't know, man. The way it look on social media, I don't know. I'm just,
I see where you're coming from. If
yeah,
you learn how to manipulate or maneuver around other people, you know yourself. That's fine. You know, but
yeah,
a lot of people assume they know about themselves. Some people can't tell you their favorite food. They can't tell you what they like in a woman, but they
right.
date. You know,
That's true. Yeah,
they don't even really know what they're good at. You got the woman you said you always wanted, but she don't want it. She don't turn me on. She not funny. She not interesting. But that's the one you said you want. Or that's your dream job. Your dream job is to be a nurse. You
right.
went 6 years of school, but you don't know. You don't like blood.
Yeah, I know this too. Just growing up, just in the city, you can learn about other people, but when it hit the fan, you're gonna be responsible for everything that you did. You know what I'm saying?
Not
At
them.
the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? If you crash out, you're going to be in court trying to explain why you crashed out, even if the other person, aggravated you or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta know. I can drink, but not in public. 'Cause I'll go off.
Ask
I'll
Tony
crash
Romo.
out.
To ask Tony Romo now.
That's why I say you got to know other people because if you know yourself, you know what I'm saying. You know what you gonna do.
But you said you done yourself first. You said done yourself first. You know yourself. You
Yeah,
know.
Yeah,
But we
you got.
said at the foundation, we agree with you, but
yeah.
we say self first.
Because I think if a lot of dudes knew themselves first, they probably wouldn't have been in jail. Like, it'd be less of life sentences. You wouldn't crash out like that. You know what I'm saying? if you learn about yourself first, like why can't I walk away if this happened? Why do I have to shoot this dude right now? You know
Well,
what I'm saying?
just remove yourself. I know I'm a crash out, so I'm
Right.
not
Right.
gonna be in that
Yeah.
situation. I'm not gonna
Around
be
other
over
people.
there. You know,
Yeah.
I got homeboys now. I can't be around because I know they're gonna do something stupid. I had a homeboy and almost just because I was with him, he almost swung on the police
Yeah. For real.
right there,
100%.
real time.
Real time. And you didn't know he was gonna do it. It just came out of
Didn't know.
nowhere.
It
You
was
didn't even
the
know. It
coolest
just
thing.
came out of nowhere.
We can talk it out. You know, now the police on the ground. I'm like, God, they might
Then the
kill this
second one.
man.
Does experience change the way you discern circumstances? Like read stuff. Like if you got experience in the inner city, you know some gas stations you just not gonna pull up to, right? Because you got the experience. Like, I'm good.
No matter what I say, hey man, just stop right there. We can run in and out. You know, my
Yeah.
experience say no.
Yeah. Yeah. It's 90 degrees outside. He got that hoodie on at Circle K. Yeah, nah, I'm rolling. I'm out.
I even had the first time I seen that who had an AK in the hoodie. It was crazy.
Yeah.
I said, hey, what's up, man? Oh, all right, I'm minding my business.
Like, do you know how hard it is to conceal a full size AK? Even a drinker with a full size AK in a hoodie,
No,
man.
full
People
size
doing it though.
AK. I wonder why two beings are walking arm around each other, hugged up. Why? Why is it? Why they get a hoodie on them?
Boy.
Oh, that was hiding AK between. So,
Boy.
yeah. I know. I was like, nah, my business.
Yeah.
Yeah, what
I
you
would,
think, Phil?
I would never judge kids wearing hoodies no more. I would never judge.
You're not judging them, but you got the experience to know that it could go down. Though. I'm just saying,
My
you know, it ain't
radar,
about
my
judging.
radar be up. You
Yeah.
know, it's
Yeah.
I got on this long sleeve sweater right now.
Let me ask you this: like
man,
with
I'm
Mike
watching out
Tyson,
for you.
do you think? Let me ask you this: do you
I
think
ain't gonna try.
Mike, the young Mike Tyson, you think his lack of experience had him talk to what's her name? Robin Givens. You think his lack of experience?
See, Mike Tyson made it out of a lot of situations that didn't
Yeah.
make the news. And I think that's the worst disservice you can have, getting out of a situation. He got out of so many situations. Why wouldn't this situation be different?
No, I'm saying the lack of experience though
Yeah,
caused him.
yeah.
He
Why
didn't know
wouldn't-
what a gold digger looked like, or maybe he did. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
No, she got her own money. But why is this situation gonna be different from any other? I got out every situation I've ever been in. Somebody bailed me out. But that one time,
Boy.
have you ever heard of Mike Tyson in any more troubles before or after that? No,
You talking about the jail, or you talking about Robin Givens?
not the Robin Givens type situation.
No, you know the jail situation was different. Yeah, that was a whole nother animal, boy. Yeah, the ride. Yeah,
But
that's
I
true.
ain't never heard him getting in no more trouble like that.
He been married a couple more times. I think he got
No,
married
but
and divorced.
being married, you know, but he ain't had to do no time over it or face public scrutiny.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. So let me ask you this: does a person have to know what drives them to do things? Do you have to know that about yourself?
You don't have to. You don't have to, but it makes things a lot easier. Know what motivates you, know what drives you, know what gets you up in the morning, know what God means to you. It helps you out a lot. Because some people going to school takes no effort. I went to class, I went to high school, junior high, it's no
Yeah.
problem. I just followed the roadmap that was given. It's associates, a bachelor's, masters, and that's it. I just do that. I don't have no passion. I was just following the roadmap, you know.
Yeah.
But some people need God and motivation every step of the way. I didn't make it I didn't make it out of high school without God. You know, I didn't get my associate without any business. You know,
We all can agree on that, though. We all need some at every step of the way.
yeah, but some
Doing
people,
on your own, you get off track. I know for me, I will.
some people don't need this motivation, don't need a hallelujah to get just through school because that's normal.
Yeah, I'm thinking about like too, like the trenches, like what drive a dude to turn into a serial killer. You know what I'm saying? Like think about the Iceman. You know, Michael Kabul, the Iceman. You know what drove him
He
to
just
be a
knows
hitman?
he had a skill,
Yeah,
he can turn it off and turn it on.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
You
And
think about dudes in this.
they'll pay for this skill. They need this
Yeah,
skill and they'll pay.
yeah. What you think, Phil?
Yeah, you better know what drive.
Yeah, you better know. You better know what drive, boy. Cause somebody else know, they'll sure do it, man. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? A crash out. That's what you call a crash out. A person don't know what drive, but somebody else do. They go crash you out like a crash dump.
Mm-hmm.
Put them in the car and hit the button. If it hit the button, you know what I'm saying? All right, the second one. The difficulty. How difficult is it for a person to find their purpose in the inner city? Because there's so much going on. You don't really have time to be still. I don't think people realize that, too. How tough it is to really sit down and be still and just think when you living in the inner city. You always going over this house, going over that house, going to the stove, chilling
And
outside.
I noticed when you're in the struggle, uh, every day after high school, you need purpose, you know.
Yeah,
But
I agree.
growing up in a different environment, it's smooth sailing until
Yeah,
after college. And then your dad got a job for you. You don't really know what you want. You have everything you need. You got a decent job, uh, 90,000, maybe low six figures, and
yeah,
it's no stress. But
right.
when you coming out the trenches in the project, you need purpose just to make it out of
Mm-hmm.
high school. You gotta know what you want to be. It's
Yeah,
not just as simple as picking a degree field and going on what college you want.
yeah.
Right,
You
right,
know,
right.
What do you think, Phil?
Yeah. Hey, what he said, what he said. You know, it takes a while because people just
Like,
don't know how
like growing up
difficult
in
it
the
is.
South. Like, let people know growing up in the South, how hard is it for the average young person to even try to think about what their purpose is? Because there's so much going on. You know what I'm saying?
It's not hard as people mapping it out to be, but it is. It's a little difficult.
The distractions are tough, man.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
I think it's more so just on the individual themselves. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. I agree.
and I
I
think you
agree.
don't if you don't watch it, your distractions might become your motivation.
Hmm.
That's
So
true.
a girl's was just supposed to be for the weekend, but now you working
Yeah,
for the girl to go
yeah,
to the strip club. Now you
yeah,
working to get that next hit of crack, or to
yeah.
buy that next drink out of the day. Now that's the motivation for you going to work for your next drink.
Yeah,
Hmm.
And now
yeah.
you motivated by the distraction.
Boy, for real.
That's a snake eating his own tail.
So looking at a lot of these little situations, what experience do you think can factor into a person to override the logic, the normal logic or restraint to do these things? You think about Nino Brown, like just using a fictional character. What do you think make him override normal logic and say, this is, we taking over the Carter? You know what I'm saying?
See, it's the same motivation that makes somebody be Michael Jordan or be Bill Gates.
Right.
But he did it his own way. I don't want to
Yeah.
be normal. Why
Hmm.
do
Right.
I have to accept the crumbs they give me?
Right.
I'm gonna think of a better way first,
Right.
and that's what he did. But if he was Bill Gates, he would have been free. If he was Michael
Boy.
Jordan, he would have been playing ball.
I don't
But
know.
he
Is
did it
Bill
on his
Gates,
own.
is he really free now? No, let me stop. Bill
But speaking of,
Gates in trouble, boy. Boy, those streets hot for him right now, boy. Woo. What do you think, Phil, about Nino? What you think?
I don't know. I don't know. I was thinking more like Raising Canaan. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if y'all ever watched this show.
I haven't
Uh,
watched it yet, but
yeah, but it's kind of like that. Like even though his mother, she was a drug dealer,
yeah.
but
Right.
she did it. She did everything right to put him in in the good schools and all that. And you know what he did? He chose the streets instead of listening to anything she said. And that's more so what the kids going through now. Like
Was it
parents,
because you was in the streets though?
Not about living. They don't want to live
What
in
do you
the
think
subdivision.
made
They don't
Canaan? What do
want
you
to
think
live
made
in
Canaan
the
choose the
suburbs.
streets? Because his mom was in the streets, and then she still lived around the streets, and that's what he saw on the way to school. What do
nah,
you think
that
factored into
kid
that?
that kid was in a nice neighborhood, nice houses. But
But what did it
he
in the movie? I mean, in the show, what do you think was the
he
factor that made him choose the streets, though?
because he chose it. That's what he wanted.
You know what I'm saying? What
But
was the factor?
why did he want it?
Yeah,
Why
That's
did
what I'm
he
saying.
want it? That's a
it wasn't
that's
automatic. It had to be
And
something that factored into his thoughts to say, "This is what I'm choosing."
you think kids really need a choice? They be like, I just want to do it. They do. That's how kids think now. Like that, you will map it out for them. It's like we always say, parents that move, you might work a nice little job, own a business. Then your kids be like, I don't want to do that. That seems boring.
yeah, like Ti. He want to go up his grandma's house. He don't
Yeah,
understand the mansion. Like,
he want to be on Bankhead. You know what I'm saying? It's stuff like that. Like
Daddy, I got out the mud. You did not, sir.
So you think? So we think
living
about set it off. The next one, set it off. What do you think could make somebody override the normal logic and rob a bank?
money.
No, and like you playing by the rules, and every day is a struggle.
Yeah, for
Even
sure.
going to work, even dealing with Nate, to get you out there buying, you have to do all that for independence. You gotta do something to break out of normal. You know,
Hmm.
some people is going to school, other people is being a drug kingpin, other people is robbing a bank. But you gotta get out of that normal. Uh, Getting a trade, I guess, wasn't on their radar, or going
Right. Yeah.
to
Oh, you
school.
freezing up? Okay, you back.
Sorry. But
And what do you think, Pill?
It all boils down to the money.
That's
You know
true.
what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
Like looking at it is like, man, it's difficult just getting up, going to work every day, and
Yeah.
then you get your check and you be like, damn, that's all I got left. And then you have people saying, hey, go to school. Man, I can't go to school right now. I gotta eat today. I
and
gotta eat today.
the thing I like about Set It Off, they tried to do it, going to work every day, living like a community, relying on each other, but
Mhm.
they were still broke. They tried.
Right. I'm listening. I'm just listening. Yeah.
And
They
and
did.
then you have and then the brother, or Stony brother, that was her
Yeah.
ticket, even though he was in, having in a spot where he wasn't supposed to be.
Boy.
One
You know
bad
what I'm saying?
decision,
Boy. Bad decision.
and
Boy.
not for the good. Like things happen, but they don't happen for the good. You know,
Mm-mm.
so
So the next one. You remember this CD, Bloods and Crips? They talk about this on Vlad TV. The dude that was with Easy E. What's my guy name? Little Baby D. Was it Baby Gangster? The one that was on Easy E song? Compton
Yeah,
City G's? The light skinned cat. I forgot. Man, I can't remember dude's names.
little
Is
BG.
it
Yeah.
Yeah, little BG, little Baby Gangster. He said they approached him to do that. He's like, man, that's a death wish. He said everybody on that album cover either like died in like some murder or something like that. Some in the gang, like nobody made it off their cover. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Most of them did. I think he said at least 90% of them did. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
And like, what did you think? Somebody, especially we wasn't in gangs, but you know how the gangster, but you disrespect. You know, it could come with your life. What do you think make a person say, you know what, I'm gonna do it on wax? Is it the fame of it to say that I'm on a CD, even though you risking your life?
like I don't know, cause I thought down here when I heard it the first time, I was like, oh man, they came together and made a
Nah,
little
they
tape.
was talking crazy about the other
But
gang. I mean, man, Pyro Love, did you actually listen to that song? What they was saying?
yeah, I listened to it, but that's what I'm saying, like how
Man,
it
they
was.
was. If they weren't disrespecting each other, saying the disrespectful terms of each one, I could see that. But nah, they was lighting each other up on some of the songs, though. You know what I'm
Mm,
But yeah,
saying?
back then it was definitely dangerous. But
Yeah,
it's like with
definitely.
kids, everybody wants to be famous. Everybody wants to be a
Yeah,
cool kid, even if it costs you your life. You
right.
know.
mhm.
Then the last one's the dude boosting, man. He boosting clothes, man. Like, what do you think make a person say, I'm finna go on Dillis and boost, man?
I love
Money,
a
Money
good
is
booster.
it?
I love a
Huh?
good booster. It's like Robin Hood. You know,
man.
Is
stealing
Yes,
from the rich, giving it to the poor. You know,
yes.
especially
Bring
back to school time. Ooh,
bring the boosters back.
bring them back. You
it?
know,
Boy, too much technology out there, man. Too much technology out there, man.
Mhm.
They probably know your face as soon as you walk through the door. It's probably some face recognition.
hey,
Mhm.
don't be a coward. We got the money. You know, you go boost, and we'll pay you.
Man, you ain't gonna get out the store as soon as you walk in the store. Bloop, there's a booster. Go get him.
You know, I believe in it. They are
Unless
very.
you like, what's that gang they used to have? Was it the Polo, the Low Lives or something like that? They still out of Polo stuff? The Low Lives or something like that? I think it was called the Low Lives or something like that. In New
They
York or
still
like
on.
LA, they'll go in and steal all
Yeah,
the Polo stuff, smash all the windows and stuff.
They
but the
still.
boosters are crazy creative. You know, I seen
Yeah, they
uh,
are.
this mother and daughter pair going to grocery store, come out the
Wow.
midnight state.
Man, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Man, that's crazy. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love me a good booster, boy.
That's good, man.
Make the
Ah,
world go round.
hey, for real.
Boosters make the
Duh.
I just
world
think about
go
like
round.
how do you have like an adrenaline rush before you do it? Because you could get caught that day. You could get caught that day. You know what I'm saying? Uh, I wonder if you could look at their record though. What would be their record? Like, would it be like 5-5, or would it be like 6-4? As far as times you won, times you got caught. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-mm. They just, once you done got caught so many times, you gonna be banned.
I know
But
some stores they just don't
But,
care no more. I
but
remember I was
I
in
just
Dollar General. They be
I just
boosting
need
out there. They'll walk right out the store, and the cashier look at them, be like, "Man, gone somewhere." You know what
I
I'm saying?
just eat the sausage. I don't care how it's made, you know. So
Ah, okay.
I
You know
definitely was
they're by
like that when
receiving.
I
You
was.
know you can get them by receiving too, right? You know that, right?
Hey, depends on the situation. You know, you gotta keep your eyes open. You know,
Yeah.
you gotta take that risk.
All right, we gonna go through this, and then I think it's the last few slides. We're gonna talk about for the youth out there. Please listen to this: sole proprietorship versus a corporation. So I ask both of y'all, who would a sole proprietorship be good for? A good fit for?
People who are self-disciplined and who know they want to run stuff, you know,
Yeah,
and they want to be the end all be all, you know.
sure. Yep. What do you think, Bill?
Uh,
I have no idea.
Yeah, a sole proprietorship is a business run by one person. You are everything. You're the whole operation. Like if
you
something
super,
happened to that one person, the business is done. You can't make no money. You know what I'm saying? That's what
but
a
you
sole
own
proprietorship
everything.
is. Yeah. And kids out there, people talking about they want to start a business. This is what most of them are. Not knocking it. I'm trying to get you to understand what people are saying. They making it sound good with these reels and music and the letters and stuff. But a sole proprietorship, if you're not ready for it, it can be dangerous. You know what I'm saying?
That's why
It can
the
be dangerous.
barbecue joints with the good barbecue only be open 3 days a week.
Yeah.
Hmm.
There's only one person banging the sauce because you can't share the recipe.
You got to be
Yep.
so consistent in sole proprietorship. Like if you're not consistent, it won't work. You got to be consistent because you eat what you kill. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if you watch the jungle, but like lions and jaguars, they don't eat every day. They may eat once every 3 months or something like that. You know
Ain't
what I'm saying? They may go like wild without eating. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of how sober proprietorship is, like being a lion in the Serengeti. You know what I'm saying? And then a corporation. Who would a corporation be a good fit for?
Any position you want to play. You know, if you want to, hey, you want to be a shooting guard, I only play offense. You know,
Yeah.
I'm a tight end. That's what I play. The show goes on. Even if you miss a day, even if you the CEO, you know, you put
Right.
people under you. You got managers, district managers, general managers. It's a structure. You
Right. Just
know,
like the pyramid,
next
right? Yeah,
man
it's a
up.
structure.
You
Yeah.
know,
What do you
uh,
think, Phil? What do you think corporation is a good fit for?
What John said. If you really plan on having a full team, but
Yeah.
and retirement sound good
yeah,
in the
Yeah.
corporation. Sole proprietorship, when you start working,
That's
the
it.
checks
you know
stop
what?
coming in.
Now
You
you
know,
can. Now that's the thing we didn't know younger, but you can build your own retirement and sole proprietorship in IRA. You got to have the discipline to put the money up. You know what I'm saying? You can do that too. You know what
yep.
I'm saying? Investment account or IRA or whatever. You can do that too. I
Now,
think with
like you said,
corporation,
you eat what you kill.
yeah, corporation is all about scale. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what, as a community, I don't think we sometimes truly like the scale of what corporation is. We don't understand the knowledge, the back end of that. We don't have that knowledge coming up out of the inner city. You see it, but you don't know how they got there. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the thing. We finna talk about this both sides though. We got let me pull that slide up because I cannot see that to save my life.
No, no, I
Let's
can't.
see. Hold on, let me pull it up real quick. Da-da-da-da-da-da. It's like the pros and cons almost of each one. That's pretty much what it is. I just need to pull it up real fast so I can
Close the
talk
bathroom
about it.
door.
So, so when you think about sole proprietorship, like we talked about, the pros are you are the company, or it could be a con. You are the company, and then the overhead costs. How much does it cost to start this business in order to make money? How much does that cost? Regulations, licensing fees, permits, all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you can ease by and not have to pay that depending on what you're doing. But if you want to do it in a major way, you're going to have to pay that overhead cost. It's just part of the game. You know what I'm saying? When I was cutting grass, I didn't do none of that. I just cut grass for people. You know what I'm saying? Word of mouth. But if I wanted to do it in a major way, have like a team of 5 people or something, you're going to have to go through that red tape. You know what I'm saying? Unless you want to feel the funk at some point. You know what I'm saying? But what y'all think, man? What y'all think about that?
It's so many choices now, and there's so many. The blueprint is already been made. You ain't gotta go and reinvent the wheel.
Right.
You do your own flow chart. You know, you in control and you're responsible for your own life. You know, you can
Yeah.
pick one of these for yourself. You know,
Right.
Yeah.
Even
and
if
you
you
can
want,
change
like,
your mind.
yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. What do you think, Phil?
I mean, I look at it like this: like you're gonna start at one, and you're gonna have to get to the other. Like you can
Right.
be a sole
100%.
proprietor
Yeah,
starting
for sure.
out, but eventually,
Yeah.
not one person can do it.
Right. Yeah.
You're
You
gonna
only
have
can
to.
make so much by yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you
100%.
you can make a lot too, though.
You
If
can, but you ain't gonna make how much? How much do y'all think y'all can make max by yourself? Like how much you think you can make max by yourself?
Oh, you
When
can
you
be
talk
the sales
about,
house. You can be the big man. You know, it depends on what product you get. You
I'm talking
know,
about
yeah,
like 5 million, 10 million, 15 million. How much can you make by yourself?
we can look at Mark Cuban, Bill Gates. You know,
But they
you
had a corporation though. They didn't do
a
it by
team.
themselves.
It started off them. You know, and
mm-hmm.
you
Right.
put that structure under you. You know,
I'm talking
but
about
if you get
single
the
or a
product,
single person. How much can a single person, in y'all opinion? How much can a no team, a single person? I'm trying
Like
to
we
get
wouldn't
kids to
know.
see this. Because kids can think I can just rap by myself and make the beats and I can make millions of dollars. That's
I
what I'm
mean,
saying.
uh,
I mean, don't know,
everybody need
man.
a factory. You know, nobody does the distribution. Even Master P, he was by himself
Right.
at the top, but he had
100%.
artists. He didn't do
Right.
everything.
Exactly.
Nobody
That's what
does
I'm saying.
everything by themselves. You
And that's what I'm trying to get kids to realize. Sober proprietorship, there is a ceiling of how much you can make by yourself. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to get to 100 million by yourself. Make by yourself. You just not. You may
But
invest
guess
and hit.
what? You make the pyramid bigger under yourself.
Sure.
You know, you ain't gonna make all the pies. You gonna
No.
buy a pie making machine. It's still the original recipe.
Sure. Even okay. Let's just say making T-shirts. How much do you think a person can make selling T-shirts on by themselves, printing them, making them, and
Now,
shipping them?
if they doing all the work, only a person production cap is on one person. You know, one person
Yeah.
can only make X amount of T-shirts.
Sure, for sure.
Unless you hire somebody else to make the T-shirts, you get the recipe, and you have other people following the recipe. But
But
by
then
yourself,
you
it ain't gonna be much because
right, exactly.
you
And then
can't
you have to
produce.
pay them. Like you have to make sure when you hire a person, now you're paying a salary. You have to make sure you pay that salary before you even pay you. You got to pay that salary. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you gotta do a profit analysis. You know, I can afford with the price of my T-shirts, I can afford to have this many employees and still make X amount of
Sure.
profit.
Right. When it's moving. Right. When it's moving.
Yeah.
The next one is health. Your health is very important in the sole proprietorship. If you don't take care of your health, you get sick, your business dies. You're not making no money. You know what I'm saying? If it's just you. So you got to think about that. What's your health like? Are you consistent with your health? The other one is consistent cash flow. Sometimes some businesses go up and down. It's like they're busy in the spring, but they slow in the fall. You know what I'm saying? You got to think about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you gotta know season of your business. You know, that's
Yeah,
corporation or sole proprietorship. Period. You know,
yeah. Some of the cons, trends. When trends change, that can hurt. You know, if you selling Jabot jeans, you know what I'm saying, then everybody switch over to Levi's, that can hurt. You know what I'm saying? Because ain't nobody buying Jabots no more. So now
yeah,
you
but
got to
you
choose.
gotta raise. If you trending, you gotta capitalize, and you
Yes.
gotta know when to cut it off. When the
You got to know
trend's
when to cut
over,
it off.
hey, it ain't gonna. You gotta ride the wave. It ain't gonna last forever.
And then a value of what you are offering. Is there value to that? Depending on your demographic or area that you're in. Like, you're not going to sell $5,000 laptops in certain areas. It's just not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, they couldn't put an Apple store. Let's be real. They can't put an Apple store in South West. You know what I'm saying? It ain't going to work. You know what I'm saying?
They can't like
They
the
will
No, they
real
most
won't.
people in the
We just
world.
talked about boosters. We just talked about boosting. We just talked
they
about
will real soon.
The most people in the
nah.
world
It's gonna be
got
real.
an
Be way
iPhone.
so. We're gonna be
Everybody
way down
got
the
a
line.
$1,000 iPhone in their pocket. No matter how much money they make.
They got a Chase
Right.
Bank over there, so it's gonna happen real soon.
Boy, that Chase Bank probably for the mood now. Stop.
Mm-mm. They booming.
Yeah. Boy, they booming for the other community, probably not our community though. But
hmm What they tell you?
the La Michoacana, they did for the La Michoacana, they booming for that.
What they tell you is gonna be an
I've
iPhone.
been doing it. Hey, tell me that. I've been doing it. I've been doing it. All right, pros and cons to a corporation. You have company structure. You have scalability. You have a lot of options on how you can run it, what you can do. You know what I'm saying? Do you have mid level? You have entry level, mid level, executive level, all that kind of stuff. You got the ability to scale. You have tax benefits with a corporation, tax write
You
offs,
won't play.
all those kind of things. Many little ways to evade, and do so you don't get taxed so much. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to think people like Amazon make billions of dollars, but they pay zero or next to zero in taxes. You know what I'm saying? Because they know the tax codes. They got the best accountants and stuff like that. So access to resources. When you have a corporation, I learned this in school last semester. No, in the spring. The access to resources are different than when you have a sole proprietorship. You know what I'm saying? Because you have a corporation. Like as far as funding and being able to cover costs and stuff like that, you have access to those things a little bit more than a sole proprietorship. Another thing about a corporation, it lives forever. If you wanted to, it'll live forever. It don't die. You know what I'm saying? Um, You can pass the business on to your kids. You can die and the business will still live on. You know what I'm saying? You think about like the Rockefeller. You can think about Walmart. This probably ain't gonna ever die. It's gonna be around for a long time. You know. And some
But
corporations
but
do die. Go
but
ahead.
they're talking about Best Buy. I mean not Best Buy, Circuit City, Kmart.
Yeah, they
You
die.
know,
That's what I was just gonna talk about. Yeah. Think about Sears, right? And Montgomery Ward. You know what I'm saying? That was a big thing. Montgomery Ward. You know what I'm saying? Gone.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Well,
But if they would have had the cash flow, it could have lived on though. They don't really die. You know what I'm saying? As far as business wise, language wise. Then the cons to having a corporation, litigation. They don't talk about it all the time, but a lot of corporations they always got to fight lawsuits and litigation. Employees trying to sue 'em. You got outside entities trying to sue 'em, trademarks and all that stuff. Litigation is a crazy thing that corporations deal with. It don't get talked about a lot. You know what I'm saying? And dealing with the large scale of people that don't get talked about a lot. You know what I'm saying? Taking on dealing with people, employing people. What do y'all think some of the things that people don't talk about? Like if you're a corporation, some of the stuff you deal with employing people. Like what you think? I know for you, Pierre, like being a lun, if you was to employ like 6 people, what's some of the stuff you got to think about when you employ 6? If you had to employ 6 people to scale up,
of course, people might not come to work, call in.
yeah,
Uh,
that's true.
that's why you keep it down to a minimum.
Yeah,
Uh, really, and you got to pay your workers, man.
yeah.
That's the biggest thing. People don't mind coming to work if you paying them right.
Now here's the deal, right? There's some other stuff like that you got to pay your people, but there are workers out there that they're coming to work, but they'll do just enough to get paid, though. You know what I'm saying? Like if you have him
uh,
weedy, that's all he'll do. He's like, weedy, you want me to ride the lawnmower? I thought you just want me to weedy. You know what I'm saying?
see, and that's why you can tell when you move to an employee and to an employer.
Yeah.
You want people to do what you don't pay them to do because they love the company. You pay them man the weedy. If you want him to do extra, you get what you pay for in
Who
life.
said that he wouldn't pay him though?
No, you
No,
said
what I'm saying is there are people, even though you will pay them, they just they won't do the work. They do just enough to get by. I'm just saying that.
just enough is what you paid them. I don't care if you do what I pay you to do,
Even okay,
and
I'm
that's
gonna
it.
give you an example. If I work at Walmart, they pay me 30,000 to fold the men's clothes, right? And if I go in there and do it for 30 minutes, then they can't find me no more. Did they
That's
pay me just
different.
do it for 30 minutes? That's what I'm saying though. That's what I'm
No,
trying to tell you.
no, that's not what you were saying. That's what you
That's
did.
what I was saying.
No,
Miscommunication. That's what I
no,
was saying.
that's what you did, but that's not what you said.
That's what I was saying. These people that do that,
but
they'll come in there. They're while Peel is cutting the grass around the corner, he on the other side of the house with the weed eater. He running it, but he not doing nothing. He acting like he weed eating. That's what I'm saying.
like this is how we when we do yards. This what
Yeah,
of course it's gonna be me. I do the weed eating.
yeah.
Weed eating is the toughest job to me.
It is. Weed eating is the toughest job unless you 5'2" and the weed eater close to the ground. But if you tall like me, boy, that weed eater a monster, man. Yeah. Go ahead,
Like
though,
it,
Peel.
but if we working as a team, like
Yeah.
there's no like that's a part of it. Like of course, okay. Say for instance, I'm paying you $25 an hour. We looking at it like, hey man, we don't need to spend no more than an hour on this
For sure.
yard.
100%. Yeah.
45 minutes, and there's so once I look at it, like you say for instance, like man, who making $50 an hour?
Right.
Fine,
Right.
that's a lot.
It is a lot. That's $100,000 a year if you actually do that for a whole year. You know what I'm saying? It's like almost like 100 grand a year. Yeah. Yeah.
But it's just you just have to get in that thought process. Like, hey man, if you want to work a regular job, you can.
Yeah.
You want to take $13 to $15 an hour,
I'm
or
just talking about the
20
different. Yeah.
or 20. That's how I'm looking at it.
The personality, I'm talking about like just the different personalities of people that work at jobs. Like you have some people that work at places just to try to sue them. You know what I'm saying? Like they're professional litigators almost. They look for a reason to sue a company. You know what I'm saying? Like a big company or something like that.
I
They
don't
look
blame
for that kind of stuff. You know what I'm
you.
saying?
I don't blame you. Get your 50,000.
And they really trying to get you to settle. They're not trying to go through court. They really just want you to settle. You know what I'm saying? That happens a lot too. But you deal with that kind of stuff with a corporation though. Another one is expensive to establish. A corporation. You got to have the resources. Like you're not gonna have a corporation with $1,000 in the bank. That don't work. You know what I'm saying?
Don't outspend, don't outgrow your expenses. Like only grow
100%.
where you can cover.
Yeah.
Some people open too many storefronts and not enough
Yeah.
product. You know,
Mm-hmm.
just because you hot right now don't mean you be hot next month.
Right.
Get something you can maintain. Always stay within your range. You know,
Right.
if you can afford 50, you might want to get 25.
Right. What you think, Phil?
Yeah. What he said. What he
Then
said.
another con of having a corporation is the extensive paperwork to get started. The paperwork. That's the Achilles heel of most people sometimes. It's the paperwork. Tax
Uh,
paperwork.
Paperwork
File.
protects your taxes.
Yeah,
It
100% it
protects
do.
your litigation. So you gotta do that. You know,
But some people don't like doing it. You see in the news, some people they get messed up because they didn't do the paperwork. You know what I'm saying? They didn't file the taxes because they didn't do the paperwork. You know what I'm saying?
and that's an advantage to a corporation. The paperwork is an advantage, not a
No, I'm
con.
saying it can be a con if you don't want to do it. If you struggle with doing it, like some people struggle
But
with doing paperwork.
it's some people you can pay to do it.
But,
Right?
but
If
I'm
you
just
don't like
saying we
doing it, if you don't
right.
like
I'm with
doing it,
you.
write through
I'm
check.
just saying in the news when we
Hire
look in the
you a
news,
TPA.
yeah,
Wesley
sure,
Snipes thought the dude was paying his taxes.
boy, yeah. I think somebody sold him a dream too because I think they sold what's that dude's name? The light skinned dude that played in uh Iron Man, man. What's the dude? Terrence
Terrence
Howard.
Howard,
Somebody told him that same dream talking about America. You live in America, you shouldn't have to pay taxes. You know what I'm saying? I think somebody got in. What's the name? Aaron told him that same thing. Snipes, and he's like, nah, you know, but nah, man. But yeah, man, it can be an advantage, and if you don't want to do it, it'll be your Achilles heel if you don't take care of that. You know what I'm saying? Cause when the IRS come, they not playing. They not playing around. You know what I'm saying?
but
If you
it's
play around
something.
with the stock, what was the stock? Enron, the stock stuff, you taking wire fraud and all that, they coming for you. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
They
but
coming.
a lot of them got
Yes.
away with it.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
But
I mean,
the
he gonna
people
get
who
away
do
with it. All right, verse of the day brings all this in the culmination problem. Philippians chapter 4, verses 12 to 13. Paul said this. I know what it is to be in need, and I know what it is to have plenty. I have learned the secret of being content in any and every situation, whether well fed or hungry, whether living in plenty or in want. I can do all this through him who gives me strength. What y'all think about that?
I think that's a lovely thing, but ambition is the enemy of this because nobody wants to be comfortable. Nobody wants to be content with what they have. They want more. And this is society we in. Uh, this is a person speaking from experience. I've lived in with lack and
Right.
need, and I
Mm-hmm.
lived when I had plenty. You
Right.
know, um, knowing where your strength comes from and knowing who provides you all in lack and in abundance. He gives it all to Christ and he's content with these situations. I think that talks about everything we talk about today.
Right.
Whether you're in a corporation or a sole proprietorship,
Right.
know where your help comes from, know where your strength, and be content.
Right. What you think, Bill?
Yeah, I'm gonna leave that alone.
Huh?
I'm gonna leave that alone, brothers.
But yeah, I think learning even when you're not in the best situation that you're in, to not put yourself in an even worse situation, not compromise your situation. Like if I'm hungry, I don't want to steal and risk put myself in jail. Well, now I'm in hungry and I'm in jail. You know what I'm saying?
3 hots in a car.
I don't know. You see them documentaries that say that food ain't the best. uh, yeah, but man, learning how to be content, man, and learning not just content, but content to grow to the next level. I think that's the thing. You know what I'm saying? Not content to I want to be greedy, but just content. Like, okay, I'm not where I want to be, but I'm fine. But I'm going to get to the next level. Even if you live it like you hungry, you know, you live in the project. Don't compromise the circumstance that you in now, because of temptation. You know, do something, and then now you in a worse situation, and then you still hungry. That's all I'm saying. Like that. You know what I'm saying? Cause I've been there. I've been there too. I know what it is to go in there. Ain't no milk. Go get that pep milk out the counter. You know what I'm saying?
It's the difference
What
between.
Phil said, you got to open up with a butter knife. You ain't even got a real sharp knife. You got to open it up with a butter knife because you ain't got a can open. But yeah, man. I'm just letting the youth know, man. Don't let your circumstances put you in a rougher. Don't let it allow you to, like, you know what, I'm gonna do this, and then you get in a rougher circumstance. You know what I'm saying?
And being content is one thing. Like, it's all right to be content and keep your eyes open for opportunity.
Yeah, for sure.
But what some people get misguided is they think they can count the next blessing before. Hey, relax. Everything's gonna happen in due time. If you reap, your harvest will come.
I think the key in this, though, I can do all this through Him who gives me strength. He's talking about Jesus Christ, right? If you believe and choose Jesus Christ, you can do a lot of things that you think that you couldn't do, but you have to believe, though. If you don't believe you can't do it, you're not gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? If you don't think you can't do it, you're not gonna do it. But if you believe that with the strength, with Him that gives you strength, you can go through it, and you're not gonna compromise or crash out, you can do it. But you gotta ask yourself how much. That's why I say you gotta know yourself. How much do you believe? You know, well, how much faith do you have? He only said you need faith of a mustard seed, and look at how big of a mustard seed. It's not that big. A mustard seed is really not that big. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, guys, that was the last one. Thank you for watching the Thinking Game Podcast. Like, share, and subscribe. Let us know what you think in the comments. Anything y'all want to say, man, before we close out?
Like, share, and subscribe.
Like, share, and subscribe. Some kids start school tomorrow. Man, make sure I have a good first day at school.
Amen.
And what you want to say, Pia, before we get slide out?
Man, school started? Dang.
You know, my kids, you know, they go to what's the name, but yeah, they go to it.
Oof.
Yeah.
Like, share, and subscribe, and follow.
Yeah, some start tomorrow. I think some start next week. I think the Little Rock School they start a little bit later. Yeah.
And follow.
But yeah, guys, we finna sign out this thing. What's that, bro?
Like, and
Deal.
follow.
Gotta use that sound bite.
Yeah, I know, right? All right, guys, we gonna catch y'all on the next one.
Sorry,